In my opinion, New Year's resolutions are a load of shit. Why do we need to wait for a date on a calendar to start working towards our goals? In this video, I'll be breaking down how you can take full advantage of a month like December, where majority of people are putting their feet up, taking some time off, spending time basically doing fuck all, to wait for January to start working towards their goals. If you're like me and want to make the most out of December, this is the video for you. Make sure you watch the entirety of it.
Good morning, Bob.
Hello. It's a big day today. We have got the Hyrox event, obviously. This is all part of a YouTube video that we're doing now. It's for maximising your potential in December. So for context, my sister dropped me into this, oh God, I don't know how long ago it was. 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, maybe a month ago. Yeah, a month ago.
And obviously it's year end for the business as well, so we've got a lot going on with that. Trading, luckily, can die down a little bit in December with the charts. It's actually not been the worst price action, to be honest with you. But we're trying to improve ourselves. We're trying to make the most out of December. And in this video, I'm going to be talking through all the things that you can be doing as a trader to make the most out of December, to give you a very good position to start the year in January. A lot of people use December as like this cool off period. I think that's bullshit. You need to like make the most out of every minute you've got whilst you're young to get the goals that you want to hit. So for me, one of my big goals for next year, or just goals in general, is to be able to do a Hyrox in a good time and obviously just be a fit version of myself, because when you're making money, you can spend time obviously on the finances, but then equally you've got to take care of your body as well. So I've been doing a little bit of training, not a lot. I've been entered in very short periods, so I don't know how this is going to go. Probably not very well, because I have had this extremely hard. But yeah, apparently KSI is there today as well. I can't stress, this is fucking brutal. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, to be honest with you, but it is very, very hard and challenging, and I've done basically no preparation for it. So we'll see how we do.
You scared?
Big time.
Okay.
Hey, I'm 4 months deep in this jamming, and I'm whipping it round as a babe and plotted on chains couldn't make the occasion.
Now, I can't lie, this was the hardest thing I've done in a very long time. It takes me back to when I first started trading for 2 years, just losing money. But the importance is exposing yourself to these situations where you realize you're not at the position that you want to be. There were so many times during this period that I wanted to quit, throw the towel in. Literally on the 3rd K, I was ready to stop. However, I didn't, and that's the main thing. If you're ever thinking about quitting, then you don't want it bad enough. And for me, I wasn't actually overly courageous around doing this Hyrox anyways, but I wanted to do it for my sister as she'd been training for it and obviously dropped me in it a little bit beforehand. But the main point I'm trying to get through is to get through anything worthwhile. It is going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. And the only way that you can gain confidence is by failure, is by going through it yourself. Right, so we've obviously finished the Hyrox. It wasn't the most extraordinary bit of exercise you've ever seen in your life from me. I didn't finish it in the time that I wanted to, but I'm very glad that I did it in the first place, because I believe to make progress in anything, you need to put yourself in uncomfortable positions. Now, obviously with trading, that's not what I'm saying you need to do in December, but you're not going to gain any confidence on the charts by just leaving December and not actually experiencing anything. So the one things that you can be doing is refining your strategy. For me, I'm going to be doing something completely different that I've never done ever before, which is ultimately learning and completely making a new strategy for a completely different market, futures. Now, obviously I've hit in a position with trading in Forex to the point where I've scaled with so many prop firms. I've used basically everyone, been paid out by pretty much everyone. I max allocated with a lot of props as well. And it's gone to the stage where I want to do something new. I want to test myself in a different market. So I'm going to be trying futures. And I'm going to be doing this all live within my Discord. I'm going to be strategizing something completely new, something completely different to how I trade at the moment. I'm going to be trading New York session, and I'm going to be trading a different market, so most likely NASDAQ or S&P. So we'll see how that goes. But this is obviously a whole completely new skill set that I'm trying to learn in this period of December, and you can do the exact same thing. You basically just need to stop using December as a cool-off period for the sake of it, unless there's a genuine reason to. A lot of you guys watching this at this point will be wanting to make the most out of December, and I'm going to go through on the laptop now and show you exactly how you can do that through testing, refining, strategizing, etc.
What's happening here then, Rob?
We've just gotten fresh home, first and foremost. We've gotten fresh home to a payout. And I'm debating whether I add this to the plat wall. I have about, I don't even know, 6 or 7 fibers plaques to add to this wall as well. I could probably add 2 more shelves, and I'm tempted to, but a lot of you guys have been asking about Equity Edge. Literally, I think it was the most requested prop firm in my prop firm tier list a while ago, and they have paid me out, to be fair, $2,500. Nice. Can make money even when you're doing Hyroxes. It's actually the day later, so yeah, wasn't on the Hyrox, but pretty much. But yeah. So you can clearly see how I've managed to maximize my fitness journey within the month of December. But how do you do it for trading? In this part of the video, I'm going to be breaking down 3 different options that you can personally take to start actively working on your trading in December and not just waste the month doing nothing. The first option is massively based around strategy. Now, I see 3 problems when it comes to why traders aren't able to see consistent success. And one, it's a lack of clear strategy. So we're going to solve that problem now. What you need to be doing is you need to be finding clear confluences. You can easily find these online. You could trade anything. You can put multiple confluences together. You can just trade one kind of simple strategy. The more mechanical you make it initially, the better. You always want to be having a very clear system for testing. And then you can start expanding on it past that. The one thing that I want you to be able to do is explain the strategy in one sentence. So for example, you might be trading the 15-minute time frame. You might be only trading New York sessions. So let's say you're trading 1 to 4 p.m. You might need to see a sweep of previous day liquidity, either high or low. You then might need to see a 15-minute reversal candle, so a bullish pin bar. Or you could trade a market structure shift or a change of state delivery, doesn't really matter. Then on candle closure, you might execute for a 3R. Now, I have no idea if that strategy is profitable. You can see how it's very easily explained in one sentence. So that's what I want you to do when you're creating this strategy. And you can use multiple different execution models. You can use loads of different confluences, but it needs to be able to be checklisted. If you try and make it too discretionary, your back testing results will not match your forward testing results. Okay, so once you've developed this strategy, like I said, you need to start testing it. So I use TradeZeller personally. You can use whatever you want, FX Replay, you can even use TradingView, but you want to make it as accurate as possible. So don't just try and make really good results for the sake of making really good results, make it realistic. Try and trade as if you were actually trading live, and so to the book with this model. Because when you then go for the live markets, you don't want to see a massive disparity between what you're trading live and what you're back testing, because I speak to a lot of traders that do that as well. Once you've got a strategy, this is where option 2 comes in. So if you already have a strategy and you're watching this, your biggest problem is most likely going to be psychology. That is almost always the problem with majority of traders. Now, I can completely understand that, and especially if you haven't got a clear strategy, psychology is going to be a huge problem. How do you work on your psychology? Now, what you can do is you can reflect on your data. So you would be trading live, I'm assuming, or trading with challenges. So go through, look at where you failed challenges, look at where you've passed challenges, look at the types of trades you've taken out, look at your worst days. What have you done during those days? Now, when you're journaling from now, I want you to start journaling your emotions during the positions. And it works sometimes, unfortunately. Like I've done it before. I did it recently. I lost a position and then re-entered very quickly off of FOMO, off of maybe a bit of greed, and I took it on a funded account. It got a payout from it. I mean, it wasn't necessarily a bad position, but it was emotionally or psychologically not that advanced. I was using impulses more than I'd want to. For example, if I went back and reflected on that position, even though it was a winning trade, what was I doing psychology-wise that was negative? How can I improve that in the future? Do I have a trade limit? Do I take that position again but use it, but have a reason as to why I take it more based on a strategy rather than more impulsive decisions? Do I, once I take one trade, not look at the charts again, step away and completely ignore the rest of the day? There's so many different things that you can act upon and create a solution for based on your psychology. Me doing a Hyrox, for example, that was me training my mind, being disciplined, trying to show the resilience when it gets hard, not just quitting. And it's the exact same with trading. A lot of people, when it gets hard, quit. There's nothing wrong with taking a break, but quitting is obviously not an option. So you could use December as a light break, but I would start training your mind in another aspect of life, whether it be fitness, whether it be socializing, whether it be something that you're trying to get better at, whether it be speaking, I don't know, marketing, sales, business, editing. It can be whatever you want. Whatever you're trying to improve in your life, whether it be, like I said, fitness is probably the most obvious one, then I'd spend that 2 weeks or week that you're having off the charts and focus as much as you can on disciplining your mind in another aspect of life. That is only going to improve your trading and your mind, your psychology. The last option that you can do is refinement, and this is basically putting these two together. So technically wise, looking at what you've been doing wrong, funded approach wise, looking at what you've been doing wrong, and then also psychologically wise, what you've been doing wrong. So being able to look at how you've been doing and actually have a clear graphic as to where you're messing up positions, where your best trades are coming from, where your losing trades are coming from, and being as refined as possible. So this includes testing. You can have your base model, which you've already got. Start adding confluences, start adding, look at your actual data and tell yourself, right, I'm more profitable when I trade on Mondays. Friday is generally not a profitable day for me. Okay, take out Fridays. There's very simple things that you can be doing as a trader in this period of the market where maybe price action isn't favorable because it's a little bit more lower volume, where you can still be doing a lot of things to make yourself a better trader. Don't just give it up for the sake of giving it up and then wait for the new year. Because why do you need to wait for the new year? There's so many things you can be doing in this time when there's not much happening on the charts to become a better version when the charts are as active as you want them to be. There's tons of different things. For me, I've recently seen, December's not even been a bad month for us. Really, we've got a ridiculous amount of results. We just had Newman get 400k in funding. We've had Danny get 400k in funding, or close enough now. I think he's got quite a few in phase 2s. We've had people get funded within a month, so they've just joined us, and then a month later in December they've got a payout and funding. So my point being is that these results can come, and it's just them actually applying themselves when most people aren't willing to. For those that don't know, if you are wanting to join a group that's kind of dedicated to improving each other and a community full of 6-figure or 7-figure funded traders, we've got 200 plus of these guys. If you're wanting to join a community like that, make sure to click the link below, as we're all striving for a big December. I'm actually doing a challenge myself, which I mentioned, around futures, where I'm going to be taking up futures trading, developing a new strategy, developing my psychology, developing a funded approach, and refining the strategy, all live within this Discord, completely from scratch, as if I'm a new trader, even though I've got 6 years experience, and trying to see how effective I can be on futures. And alongside that, all those traders that are already in that community, or if you're joining soon, they're all going to be exposed to the exact same lessons that I'm learning as well, and can learn with me, rather than me coming from a figurehead and teaching them what I already know. I'm going to be learning on the job with you guys. It's super cool. I'm going to try and do some of it online as well, but obviously the majority of it is going to be in my Discord, because that's where I'm live most of the time. If you do want to join that, click the link below. If you want to make the most out of your December, click the link below, speak to me or one of those funded traders, and we'll talk you through the process. If you're obviously serious about making the most of December, you don't need education to do that. It's often a good step though. A lot of you guys are making something that's already hard even harder. But even just if you're good enough to the position where you know what you need to be doing right, a lot of people know what they need to be doing but just aren't doing it. If you ask yourself, am I doing these things that Rob said, these 3 things, have I actually done them and actually acted upon them? Because if you haven't, what are you doing? Make the most out of this time when you're not trading live. Don't just try and click and hope on the screen to try and get a payout. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you, all of these didn't just come from clicking and hoping. It came from all of these things that I'm telling you in these videos. If you do want to obviously take full advantage, do the things that I've said in this video, whichever one applies to you. And if you want to take it a step further, click the link below. If not, make sure you subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and let's make next year a ridiculously good year after this one has been amazing already. I think we've passed multi 8 figures, I believe, and it's at least 8 figures in funding throughout the community. So hoping to get an even better year next year, because it's only been up so far. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you very soon.